Okay, this is the Welcome to Endurance Nation talk. I'm going to start it up. Hello and welcome to Endurance Nation. This is Patrick and
Rich.
Absolutely, and we're excited to welcome you to what we think is basically the coolest new thing to happen in endurance sports in a long time. Basically, Rich and I got this idea kicked off a few months ago. It's August of 2007 right now. We started just a few months ago thinking about what we both do on either side of the country, what we're doing in these conference chairs stuck together, and basically saw that what we had done was create two different communities on either side of the country that were pretty cool, and then we could do a lot to bring them together using technology, such as video, such as the internet. So what we decided to do was create something called Endurance Nation. And the idea behind Endurance Nation was to create a place for folks like you to network, communicate, and basically form your own community around your sports. You can take the knowledge and experience of experienced coaches like myself and Rich, but also other people who will come into the forum, come into the site, who are experts in swimming, cycling, running, you name the sport, kayaking, eventually to give you the information you want to excel at your sports. And the best part about it, I think, is that it's a user-driven community. So it's been a long time coming. Rich and I, you do a lot of feedback and learn from our athletes, but we decided that a community that was started basically by us, but driven by you, the user, would result in something that would ultimately be way better for you as the athlete.
And so what's going to be different about Endurance Nation is rather than us building something and hope you come, we are building a skeleton, put you inside that, and as a team, we're going to figure out where this is going. Where it's going, we don't really know yet. We have ideas. Those, if you talk to us at 4 o'clock today, those ideas will be different than what we have now. Key elements of the experience that we're trying to build for you. As far as training goes, the training ideas that you're going to see in Endurance Nation are based on our real-world experience. If you've read training books, we've read those training books. What we do as coaches is we take those training ideas and translate them to the real-world experience and requirements of real people. So probably 2/3 of what you're going to see in Endurance Nation is simply what we have found works for real people in the real world. But we're also going to create spaces where, frankly, the freaks and geeks can talk about, all the geeked out stuff. So what we're going to do is create an environment where we can educate the inexperienced athletes, but not lose the experienced athletes, and we can educate the experienced athletes and still add value to the experience of the inexperienced athletes.
Right, and no matter where you fall on that spectrum, you're going to be a member of Endurance Nation. Sign up, will be free, you can get in. And as a member, you get the right to vote. And as you vote, you'll be able to sort of drive what it is that Rich and I are creating on our end. So you have a responsibility as a member of Endurance Nation to contribute both to your fellow athletes and also help us create an environment within which you not only get the information you need, but it makes you a better athlete as well.
If you notice, we are triathlon coaches, but the word triathlon is not in the name of the site. It is Endurance Nation. We want to expand this idea to include runners, cyclists, swimmers, anyone. We look at this as a network that we're going to grow. Where it's going to grow, we don't know, but we wanted to begin by not putting ourselves into the box of triathlon.
Right. One of the things I like that you say a lot, you talk about taking your fitness and doing cool stuff with it. I think a lot of people who are triathletes have a lot of fitness and they can do a ton of cool stuff. A lot of times not even related to swimming, biking, and running. And so it'll be interesting to see where the site grows to just by virtue of that alone. There's several components to Endurance Nation, so I'm just going to outline them real quickly before we get into them. First is the general public, people who come, sign up, get into the forums and check stuff out. There's EN plans, Team EN, EN coach, and EN forum. So that general public level I talked about, when you sign up and register as a member, you get access to the forum and you get to see a whole bunch of content, basically those distilled items that Rich and I were just talking about. You'll have access to basically a library of information that you can use to help shape your training along with the commentary from the forum as well.
The next component, EN plan, that's what we're building right now. We have well, first of all, Patrick and I have been selling training plans for about 3 years. These have been proven across over 1,000 athletes. But what they are right now is what you think of as a training plan, which is simply a workout schedule, maybe a couple docs attached, whatever. What we've done is we've created a content matrix where we have identified content that we're going to attach to each week of the training plan. And as I was sitting on my flight last night, I counted all the boxes in the matrix, and the Ironman training plan alone will have over 100 pieces of content attached to it. And what we're doing here today is we have a list of videos that we're just going to jam through. We're basically going to make a video book that we're going to attach as individual files to our training plans.
Right. So instead of the idea being, I think, instead of saying, oh, I've got a long ride this weekend, I wonder what happens to people on long rides. I'm going to go search online for long rides, or what I should be eating, or what I should do. The difference being now with an EN plan is that you'll actually, in that week, have the files that say, here's what you need to eat on your long ride, here's some samples, here's a video explaining what are the 5 things you don't want to eat, and so on. Here's a picture of a bike set up as a triathlete with all of the food you need to eat for your long ride, to sort of answer all those questions before you even need to go anywhere else. And if you have the questions, you go to the forum.
And the bottom line is, we've been doing this for a long time. We coach, write, speak, teach, live triathlon. There's so much information in our head. I like to say we have so many raps in our head, and frankly, we're tired of writing. And so it's much more effective for us. It's much more effective for you. So that rather than read the 5th article on cycling cadence or cycling form, I'm going to open up my head and dump it into this camera, and that file will be attached to your 3rd week of workouts.
So moving forward, anyway, getting back on schedule, the other item on Endurance Nation will be Team EN. And so this is one level above the general public, and when you become a team member of EN, you're going to get some pretty cool things like a customizable homepage. You'll get a race singlet, so you get to represent. You get open access to our growing library, so Rich and I, despite the fact that our hands are tired from typing, continue to generate lots of content coming from our users and eventually coming from you as an Endurance Nation member. And there'll be more of that, including videos, podcasts, training templates, basic weeks for people to use and leverage. So there'll be a lot of really cool information that will be available to members of Team EN.
And just one thing real quick. We're looking into the architecture that we're going to use to build Endurance Nation will facilitate you creating blogs, uploading your own podcasts, attaching videos. Instead of writing how your workout went, just record it as an audio file. That audio file gets thrown up on your blog, other people link to it, and in the process, people will read it, they can tag it, they can rate it. And so over time, the content on the site will grow dynamically as we contribute to it and as you contribute to it.
Right. So which is so important. The next element above Team EN is EN Coach, which is basically your training plan typed up but with one of us or one of our staff members doing the work for you in terms of customizing it, setting it up for you, and supporting you. There's a whole video on it that I've already done, and it's on the EN Coach page. So if you want to learn more about that, just point your browser over to the EN Coach page on endurancenation.us, and you can learn more about it right there.
And the hub of where all this is going to happen is on the Endurance Nation forum. We've chosen the best forum software that we can find. It's going to be interactive. You can upload avatars, signatures. We're going to encourage people to create race reports with pictures, upload videos. It will be a place where you can display personality. You can search. It's by far the best forum software out there. Ideas that we have, how we're going to break it out, is a general training forum, a power training forum, regional forum, so that you can network with people in your state, in your regions, form informal training weekends. We have beta testers in there now, testing our site, testing our forums. Some of the feedback that we've been given is to start up a forum just for women, where women can discuss endurance training ideas exchange information, network without smelly guys in the room.
Ruining the party.
And so, and the forum's open right now. What's happening now is we've taken a couple steps forward and a couple steps back on the Endurance Nation website. We're getting some job quotes, specking it out, deciding where it's going to go. But the forum is up and running, and we encourage you to start using that resource now.
Absolutely. It's at endurancenation.us/forums. You can go there and sign up for your account right now. It gets you in the house. You'll be one of the first people to learn more about what the cool stuff is we're doing. So we look forward to having you on board and working with you to create something really cool.
In closing, thanks for your time. We're very excited about where this is going. We have tons of ideas. Frankly, folks, we're just making this up as we go.
Right.
Every time we have an idea, we talk to a smart person, we talk to an athlete, and they give us 10 more. But it all starts right here. This is our first video that we've created for you. We have a very long list of videos that we're going to make. We're going to be here for 2 days. The coffee's hot. It's just around the corner. We're confident this is the start of something great. So, thank you.
Awesome. We'll see you.
That was a lot of information.